Many of you know that Elicia and I have recently got back from the trip of a lifetime to the Maldives and the Ritz-Carlton Resort at Fari Island. Now, as much as we would like to, we don't get to go to places like this as often as we would like. And we both feel incredibly grateful that life has given us this opportunity to enjoy and experience this type of vacation. And while the pristine beaches, the delectable food, the exquisite room design, and stunning scenery deserves specific praise, it is the word hospitality that rings high above all else. Hospitality is a word that we use a lot in our circles. I'm sure each of you have your own definition of it. But to me, it means to be made to feel special, to feel safe, to feel secure and comforted, as if you were in your mum's arms as a child. It means that you feel known and cared for. And today I want to share the first of what I think are 5 key lessons from our experience that are also pertinent to all types of restaurants and service providers through sharing the faces and examples of great hospitality that Elicia and I received on our trip. And the first lesson is that of names matter. Now, this is Lana. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, you'll know that we had a crazy start to our trip with lost luggage. But Lana here was the person who greeted us at the start of our Ritz-Carlton experience. Firstly, to surprise us with the lost case that we hadn't seen for the first 4 days of the trip, causing considerable stress. But as part of her greeting, Lana not only told us of our found luggage, she asked us how would we like to be addressed, Mr. and Mrs. Osbourne or Carl and Elicia. We chose the latter. That little bit of information was circulated back to everyone else back at the Ritz-Carlton, and from that moment forwards, our names were used in every interaction. So why does this matter? Well, it forms a connection between the service provider and the guest. And what can restaurants learn from that? Well, I think there are a few things. First of all, I'm a big fan of name badges. Yes, I know they cause issues of people forgetting them, getting lost, and added expense. But if you're centered on hospitality and service, they give your guests a chance to form a bond. They humanize the server. They remind the guest there's a person behind the name, and that can, but not always, but can shift the mindset from being served to receiving service. What helps with this is then the server reciprocating the effort. If there's a reservation in place, for example, the server should make a point of introducing themselves to the guest whose name. Now, say again. The server should make a point of introducing themselves to the guest whose name is on the reservation, and can extend it further to others like children around the table or the other party sitting with the guest that reserved the table. Why is it that in most other forms of connection in life, where we meet someone for the first time, we often shake hands, we say hello, share our name, but in a service-orientated customer setting, we don't? Elicia and I made a point of doing this to every team member, remembering and learning their names, hearing their story, and treating them with the respect that they deserve. It's also something that I know we pride ourselves on in our professional circles and the large teams that we've led in the past. I certainly tried to do that when leading teams at AM/PM, Kitchen United in the past. And I think that any great operational leader strives to remember something about each person in their team, even if it's not always their name, but something about their background. Last thing I'll say here is that I think this isn't just something for fine dining or casual dining settings where reservations are made or where time is, say, a little bit more relaxed. It can be used in faster settings too. For example, a McDonald's drive-through order happens, or when a pickup order occurs, there's a name attached to that. As part of that pass-through process, remembering to add a "enjoy your meal, Carl," or "thanks for coming in, Elicia." Those things add a sprinkle of hospitality to make your guests feel known, to feel seen, to feel valued. With increasingly higher amounts of data coming into our restaurants on a daily basis, we need technology providers to help our service providers with prompts on the names of our guests. If we can use loyalty identification at the beginning of the transaction, as opposed to what is traditionally done, where the loyalty or cell phone number or identifier of some kind is added at the end, then basically you can create a more hospitable environment for our guests, because right at the very beginning, you know who they are, you know their preferences, which means you can enhance the service. And if nothing else, you can use the use of a name alone to drive a better spirit of hospitality, to drive a better level of service and to actually extend digital hospitality in the best way it can be used. Come back in the days ahead for more of my lessons from the Ritz-Carlton hospitality experience that Elicia and I enjoyed. Share your thoughts below. Please give me your thoughts on how names matter in your business and what you think they mean when it comes to improving hospitality in our restaurants.